The Trustworthy Christian, Part 3. In the first two parts of the Trustworthy Christian, we said that knowledge is one of the things that will make a Christian trustworthy before God and man. We looked at the meaning of knowledge, the areas in which we should have knowledge, why knowledge is very important, and how to become knowledgeable. Here we want to look at love as another necessity for anyone that wants to be trustworthy. To love is to be devoted to, care for, be keen on, be fond of someone or something. The seriousness with which God views love is reflected in Romans chapter 13 from verse 8 to 10. Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. And in Luke chapter 10 verse 27, we are admonished to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, strength, and mind, and to also love our neighbor as ourselves. We want to consider here some of the ways you show that you love God, your family, and other people, including your fellow Christians. You can show that you love God by fearing Him, walking in all His ways, and serving Him with all your heart and soul, according to Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. You can also show that you love God by fellowshipping with Him, Psalm 27 verse 4, and also by fellowshipping with other people who love the Lord, Psalm 122 verse 1. If you love your family, you'll be faithful to your spouse, knowing that unfaithfulness will attract from God punishment that will be suffered not only by the offender, but also other members of his or her household. Love will make you encourage your spouse and children when they are downcast due to things not being the way they want them to be. If you abandon or insult your spouse when he or she is down, the love that you profess to him or her when things were beautiful was false. Love will also make you encourage your family to seek the Lord. You will encourage the family to have a vibrant prayer altar where each person will be taught the way of the Lord. You will also be a godly example to your family. Love will make you encourage your family to do God's will in Christian service, business, career, and so on. As a husband, you will not deliberately stop your wife from pursuing God's vision and then quote Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22 to her. As a wife, you will not use your tears to stop your husband from fulfilling God's calling just because you know he hates to see you cry. Instead, you'll be like Job's wife who said to him, "Now then, whatsoever God has said unto thee, do." Genesis 31:16. If you love your family, you will not take sides with them against anyone, but rather you will be a peacemaker. In 1 Samuel 25, Abigail realized that her husband was wrong, and she tried to appease David instead of taking sides with Nabal against him. Instead of supporting and encouraging your family members when they are doing wrong, you should lovingly and gently correct them. Otherwise, when the repercussion comes, you will all suffer it together, as it happened in the case of Ananias and Sapphira in Acts chapter 5. Learn to make sacrifices for your family. Go out of your way to do things that you normally would not do, just to make them happy. Take interest in finding out what they love and try to develop a love for it too. Pray for your family. Forgive easily and completely. Do not take your family for granted. Watch out, it's very easy to take advantage of your spouse if he or she is very loving and gentle. Do not be nonchalant towards the issues of your family members. Shield your spouse and children from ridicule by not exposing their weaknesses to anyone, not even to your close friends. Rather, quietly and prayerfully work with them to bring about a change. Proverbs 25 verse 9 says we should discuss a matter with only the person concerned and not disclose anything to someone else. Where you must discuss your family with an outsider, make sure it is by the Lord's leading. Prefer your family members above everyone else. Go out of your way to make your spouse happy. Do not be afraid of correcting or even punishing your children. Bear in mind, however, that you must never go into sin just to prove that you love your family. We should also show love to our brethren in the Lord and everyone else. One of the ways we can do this is by never condemning anyone. Accept people the way they are, forgive those who offend you, and care for everyone. Pray for your brethren and also for unbelievers and backsliders. Do not ridicule anyone for any reason and no matter what their condition is. Do not be a troublemaker. Do not sow seeds of discord. Be an encourager. Be a helper and also a good example. Let others know through your example that it is possible to do right. Knowing that you are not only knowledgeable but also full of genuine love will make God, your family members, and others to trust you. May the Lord make every one of us to be trustworthy. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.